He's considered to be the oldest human mummy found intact, and scientists believe he died more than 5,000 years ago.
Every year, new discoveries reshape what we know about the world. Fossils are uncovered, long-buried evidence emerges, and established ideas about history and science are challenged. Among the most revealing discoveries are those preserved in ice. Across frozen tundras and polar regions, scientists have recovered remarkably intact remains, many of them prehistoric animals, but others far more unexpected. As rising global temperatures expose ice that has remained sealed for millennia, these hidden relics are being revealed once again. This documentary explores 10 of the most mysterious, unsettling, and remarkable things ever found trapped in ice. Preserved mammoth brains. One of the most unusual discoveries made in frozen ground is the preserved brain of a woolly mammoth. In 2010, researchers in Russia uncovered the mummified remains of a woolly mammoth estimated to be around 39,000 years old. What made this find extraordinary was the condition of its brain, which had survived intact. The mammoth, believed to have been only 6 to 9 years old at the time of death, likely died suddenly, possibly from a fall. This rapid death and immediate freezing may explain the exceptional preservation. Scientists were able to identify the cerebellum at the back of the brain and even distinguish between white and gray matter. While the forebrain was in poorer condition, traces of soft tissue were still present when researchers examined the skull. This marked the first time an intact mammoth brain had ever been studied. Earlier discoveries, including 2 female mammoths found in 2007 and 2009, allowed scientists to compare skeletal differences that may point to evolutionary changes within the species. The Iceman of the Alps. Known as Ötzi the Iceman, this frozen human remains one of the most famous archaeological finds in history. Estimated to be about 5,300 years old, Ötzi is genetically linked to modern populations in Austria. His body was discovered in the Ötztal Alps near the border between Austria and Italy, which gave him his name. Ötzi is considered Europe's oldest, naturally preserved human mummy and provides a rare glimpse into life during the Copper Age. One of the most striking features of his body is the presence of 61 tattoos, initially believed to have cultural or spiritual significance. Later research suggested they served a medical purpose. Many of the tattoos align with areas of joint degeneration and chronic pain. Examinations also revealed that Ötzi suffered from multiple health conditions, including parasitic infections, hardened arteries, gallstones, joint disease, and spinal deterioration. When discovered, an arrowhead was embedded in his shoulder, and evidence suggested he died from a traumatic head injury. His remains offer a detailed and intimate look into the hardships of prehistoric life. Antarctica's blood falls. Antarctica remains one of the least understood places on Earth. Despite research stations and scientific expeditions, much of the continent remains unexplored. One of its most unsettling features is a blood-red stream flowing from the Taylor Glacier, known as Blood Falls. Despite its appearance, the liquid is not blood. The red color comes from iron-rich water that oxidizes when exposed to air, similar to how rust forms. Located in the McMurdo Dry Valleys, the water emerges from cracks in the glacier's surface. For years, scientists were unsure of its source. Eventually, imaging beneath the ice revealed a network of subglacial rivers and a hidden lake filled with salty, iron-rich brine. The high salt content prevents the water from freezing, allowing it to flow even in extreme cold. While visually alarming, Blood Falls is the result of geological and glaciological processes rather than anything supernatural. The Children of Lulayaco. In 1999, researchers made a disturbing discovery atop Lulayaco, a stratovolcano on the border of Argentina and Chile. At the summit, 3 mummified children were found preserved in ice. One was a teenage girl, and the other 2 were younger children estimated to be 6 and 7 years old. These children were victims of an Inca ritual sacrifice believed to have occurred around the year 1500. Known as the Children of Lulayaco, they may have been selected based on beauty or offered by their families as part of a religious ceremony intended to ensure prosperity and agricultural success. Chemical analysis of the teenage girl's hair revealed a detailed record of her diet over the final 2 years of her life. Traces of coca leaves and alcohol were found, substances likely given to induce altered mental states and reduce suffering. The children were placed underground and left to die, their bodies naturally preserved by freezing temperatures and dry air. The discovery provides haunting insight into ancient ritual practices. A hidden Antarctic lake with life. In 2012, Russian scientists drilled more than 2 miles beneath the Antarctic ice sheet and reached Lake Vostok, the largest known subglacial lake on the continent. Isolated for millions of years, the lake raised immediate questions about how it could remain unfrozen. Even more surprising was the discovery of bacteria unlike any previously known. Some researchers questioned whether drilling fluids had contaminated the samples, leading to further expeditions. Additional drilling in 2015 and again in 2016 revealed other isolated subglacial lakes with similar characteristics and potential microbial life. While debate continues over the nature of these organisms, the discoveries suggest that life can persist in extreme isolation under conditions once thought impossible. The Siberian ice maiden, discovered in 1993 on the Yukok Plateau near the Chinese border, the Siberian ice maiden, also known as the Princess of Yukok, dates back to the 5th century BCE. The region is sometimes referred to by locals as the second layer of heaven. She belonged to the Pazyryk culture, which thrived between the 6th and 2nd centuries BCE. Her remains were found undisturbed in a subterranean burial chamber and later transferred to a museum. Studies suggest she was between 20 and 30 years old at the time of death, possibly due to breast cancer combined with injuries from a fall. Her body was adorned with intricate tattoos depicting mythological animals such as deer and panthers. Nearby, the remains of 2 warriors bearing similar symbols were found. These markings may have represented status not only in life but also in beliefs about the afterlife. Frozen Ice Age puppies? While searching for mammoth tusks along a Siberian riverbank, hunters noticed a puppy's snout emerging from the permafrost. The Ice Age animal was remarkably preserved, with skin, fur, and internal organs intact. Estimated to be around 12,460 years old, the puppy was taken for scientific study in northeastern Russia. The discovery has helped researchers better understand Ice Age canines and the early origins of domesticated dogs. Preliminary analysis suggested signs of butchering and burning, raising the possibility of human involvement. Plant matter found in the stomach indicated the animal may not have been strictly carnivorous or may have consumed vegetation while starving. Despite many unanswered questions, the preservation of such fragile remains is considered a major scientific achievement. A frozen cave bear and cub. In Russia, scientists uncovered the frozen remains of a cave bear and its cub embedded in ice. Dating back approximately 39,000 years, the find was unprecedented. Until then, only cave bear bones had ever been discovered. The permafrost preserved soft tissue and internal organs, raising hopes that viable DNA might still exist. Cave bears lived across Eurasia between roughly 300,000 and 15,000 years ago. Finding an entire carcass in such condition is exceptionally rare and has prompted discussion about the possibility of genetic study and preservation. A buried mountain range. Beneath Antarctica's ice lies one of the largest geological discoveries ever made. Hidden under nearly a mile of ice is a vast mountain range estimated to be around 100 million years old. In the early 2000s, researchers used ground-penetrating radar during extensive aerial surveys covering roughly 74,000 miles. The data revealed peaks resembling the Alps, composed of ancient rock lifted into place between 250 and 100 million years ago during the age of dinosaurs. Despite their age, the mountains appear relatively untouched by erosion, preserved once ice sheets became thick enough to halt weathering. Known as the Gamburtsev Mountains, they remain unseen by human eyes. If Antarctica's ice were ever to melt, these peaks would likely become the highest on the continent. Ancient bacteria. Among the most concerning discoveries trapped in ice are ancient bacteria. Some are harmless, but others pose serious risks. In 2016, thawing permafrost exposed the carcass of a long-dead reindeer, releasing bacteria that led to the deaths of approximately 1,200 reindeer and infected around 15,000 people in nearby communities. In other cases, bacteria survive independently in frozen environments. These ancient pathogens may be unfamiliar to modern immune systems. As global temperatures rise and ice continues to melt, organisms that have been sealed away for centuries or longer may re-enter the environment. The release of these ancient diseases highlights one of the less visible but potentially serious consequences of climate change. These discoveries illustrate how ice acts as a time capsule, preserving remnants of Earth's distant past. As frozen regions continue to thaw, more secrets are likely to emerge, some enlightening, others unsettling. If you want more carefully researched mysteries like this, subscribe to RapidRank and stay with us as we uncover what history left behind.